What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another What to Buy on eBay video. We've got some comics, we've got some vintage collection, some vintage items. I've even got a bootleg here. Let's dig into some awesome items here. The first one, this is an interesting one. This is an Russian Oritet bootleg Chewbacca graded UKG 85. And this has the brand new case style. And this is kind of the gold version of Chewbacca, and it says 1996 on the label. I would argue these are probably made closer to 2000 or thereabouts, but the figure got a 90 score, the paint got an 85 for an overall 85, but this is based on the Power of the Force 2 mold of Chewbacca that came out from Kenner and Hasbro from 1995 until about 2000. And the Russians were a little bit late to the game. They did not get the Star Wars movie in theaters until 1991, I believe. And there was a company called Oritet for a brief time that made bootlegs. They made a bootleg Chewbacca in several different colors. This is a harder to find kind of gold color. There's also a magenta color, a standard brown color, a number of different colors for Chewbacca. There was also a Yoda, a Darth Vader, a Bosk, which I have several different color examples of. And there was an AT-AT driver. This is a really cool example, and you don't see these graded very often. It's listed for 125 pounds, make an offer, and there's 14 watchers on it. So I expect this one to sell because it does have the brand new case style, really cool looking example for the Oritet Chewbacca graded UKG 85%. I've got some loose graded figures sprinkled throughout this video, and this is a Hong Kong Walrus Man. This, I believe, is the pink tusks. It's hard to see on there, but it looks pink to me. And again, it's the Hong Kong variant. The figure got a 90, paint got an 85%. This is a really nice brand new case style from UKG. This one just got listed. It's listed for 125 pounds plus shipping. Maybe you watch this one and he makes you an offer for about 100 pounds. I don't know. But really nice looking example for Walrus Man. And check out that seller. I've never dealt with that seller before. So as always, make sure you vet the sellers for any item you're thinking about buying. But this seller has a number of really nice high-grade UKG examples. This is a nice one. This is the Han Solo small head, graded UKG 80% with the brand new case style. And it's 120 pounds, which is about $144. That's a pretty good buy. I mean, we all know how expensive Han Solo small heads are. This is the Hong Kong variant. And, you know, in a high grade like that, that's pretty fair price, in my opinion, especially if you're in the UK and you can avoid the global shipping program. But 120 pounds for a small head Han, I think, is a pretty good price. AFA 85s, for example, they can set you back $400 plus. So to get a UKG 80%, admittedly a lower grade, but brand new case style for $144, that's, you know, let's call that 70% less. I don't know what the exact number is, but that's a lot. It's a big discount versus an AFA 85. So it's more than it's more than that. So anyway, I just think that's a pretty good buy in my opinion, and check that one out. Next up, same seller also has a UKG 85% Rebel Soldier, Hoth Rebel Soldier. This is the Hong Kong variant, graded UKG 85, as I said. 84 pounds. That's a pretty good price as well. And it's also make an offer. So I think, you know, both of those are worth checking out. And again, that same seller has a number of different examples for sale beyond just the ones I'm showing here. And if I remember, I'll try to put the item numbers for all of the items I'm showing in this video in the video description, so you can go search for them if you're having trouble finding them. I've got some vintage collection now. We got an unpunched US card for Wedge Antilles. This has the Darth Maul offer sticker. There was only a couple of photos, but it looked to be in really clean shape, VC28. And it's $62, free shipping. And it's also make an offer. I mean, that to me seems like a great buy for a really nice looking Wedge Antilles unpunched US card back. I mean, that's a super clean looking card for $62 shipped. Here is a mail-away VC61 prototype Boba Fett. That's $100 free shipping. And again, that one looks to be in very, very clean condition. I mean, straight out of the shipper box, and it included the shipper box. So you can't get much cleaner than that. And again, it was $100, make an offer also, free shipping. So that's a good looking example. Next up, this is one that we've talked about many, many times in my videos. And this is the unpunched Darth Vader name pill for the Revenge of the Sith Anakin Skywalker. There's 8 watchers on it already, and the lowest price I've ever seen for one of these unpunched was $250. I thought that was way underpriced, and it sold immediately when I showed that in a previous What to Buy video. This one's listed for $350, and that's kind of more in line with market. Typically in an auction, unpunched, this Darth Vader name pill is a lot harder to find versus the Anakin Skywalker name pill. And again, it's the U.S. card back, unpunched. It looks to be really, really clean overall. Here's all the different angles for the blister. I can't see any dings on it, but again, just check it out in more detail. But I mean, to me, this is kind of in line with market, and clearly eBay browsers agree with me since there's 8 watchers on it. So $350, free shipping for the Darth Vader name pill, Anakin Skywalker. I've got a few baggies I wanted to highlight. This is an $85 B-Wing Pilot baggie, and it looks to be completely sealed. This is a heat-sealed soft baggie made in China. Maybe just a little bit of wear on the lettering for the baggie, but probably 80 grade condition, 80 plus condition. And again, it's $85 plus $5 shipping. There's 12 watchers on that one as well. So that's got to be getting pretty close to market value for a nice looking baggie. Next up, I've got the Made in China Zuckuss mail-away baggie, and that one is also a heat-sealed baggie. There's 8 watchers on that one, and I've highlighted this one in a number of different videos, not this one in particular, but other examples, and they always sell for around $75 to $80. So this one's priced right in line with that, $80, free shipping, and again, there's 8 watchers on that one. It's a very common baggie, so you can always wait for an auction if this price point doesn't appeal to you, but I would say that this price point's pretty fair for that Zuckuss baggie. Here's a Nikto baggie, and this one's $116.95 plus $7 shipping. This one is a tape-sealed baggie, but it does look to be appropriately tape-sealed. The tape does have some yellowing to it, but it looks firmly attached. And again, I've never bought from this seller, but it does have that breather hole that we've talked about in past videos. So that's a factory breather hole. That's not something that's a defect on the baggie. The lettering on this Kenner Made in Hong Kong baggie is in really sharp condition. To me, that's not too far off of market value. $117 plus $7.83 shipping. And if you want to go really big boy, here's a big boy purchase right here. This is 3 different baggies, 8D8, Nikto in his skiff outfit, and then also the Nikto baggie that I just highlighted. So all 3 of them are for sale. $375 plus $5 shipping. There's 30 watchers on this one, and it's also make an offer. So maybe you get it for $325, $350, somewhere in that ballpark for all 3 of those baggies. That's a pretty good buy in my opinion as well. Next up, I've got a few comics. I always hesitate to put comics on my What to Buy videos in a down market because the market is really soft for comics right now. So I'm only going to include comics, I think, that are in auctions, okay? So this is one I'd like to pick up at some point. This is the first time that Dr. Aphra's full name was ever revealed, and it's also the first appearance of her love interest, Magnetovan. And this has just got a great cover. It's got her 2 murder droids, is it BT3? BT1? I can't remember. And then 000, and then it also has Chrysantan on the cover, and then, of course, Dr. Aphra on there. So this is Dr. Aphra number 3 from her first run of comics, and it's a great cover. So it's got a first appearance. It's the first time we get her full name, and it's in an auction, and it's $14.50 right now, and it ends in 4 days and 8 hours as of the making of this video. So $14.50, $6 shipping. If you can get it for, I'd say $75 to $80, that's a really good buy. I would buy that all day long. And it's one I want to get, but it's just bad timing for me. I'm going after some really big boy books right now. So really great book. Here's another one that I do have in my collection, albeit a different cover. This is the variant cover for the High Republic Adventures Annual #1. It's the first appearance of Bell Zettifar, Indira Stokes, his Charhound Ember, Porter Ingle. So it's got, I think, 4 or 5 different first appearances. And in my opinion, for anything High Republic related, this is probably my favorite book. And there's certainly more exclusive covers. There's like 4 or 5 different really good covers. This cover typically sells for between $80 and $90 in a CGC 9.8 grade. Right now it's at $42 plus $17 shipping with 6 days and 1 hour left as of the making of this video. Again, it's one of the less desirable covers. It's got Porter Ingle on there along with Lorna D getting ready to attack. But, you know, it's not the standard cover A. It is a variant cover. I don't have this one in my collection. But it's got, like I said, 4 or 5 different first appearances in this book. And for anything High Republic, this is definitely a good one to get. And if you can get it for kind of $60 to $80, I think that's a really good buy. Next up, we've got the Mandalorian #1. This is the Mike Mayhew Virgin variant cover, and this is in an auction as well. This book has done nothing, absolutely nothing, but I love it. This is the version. There's also a trade dress version that has the Mandalorian logo on the top of the book. I like this one better, though. It's just a simple, clean, awesome display piece. It's obviously the first full appearance of the Mandalorian in comics, and this moment captures the first time that the Mandalorian kind of sees Grogu the first time. It's just an awesome kind of timeless thing. And now with the Mandalorian Season 3 finally here, I can't wait to watch it later tonight. I just love this book. I just think it's a great book. And it's at auction, so maybe you can get a good deal on it. I would spend, if it were me and I was going to bid on this book, I would not spend more than probably about $90 to $100 on it. The trade dress version typically goes for $50 to $70. So I would probably maybe go $80 to $90, somewhere in that ballpark, maybe $100 if you really want it. But I think it'll probably end up less than that. I bet it ends up for between $80 and $90. $325 is the bid right now. There's 6 days, 8 hours left on it. And then obviously this is one I do have in my collection. This is the 1 in 50 ratio variant for the Mandalorian #1. I love this cover. This is the U variant cover. For every 50 of the standard cover A, only one of these was printed, and this book has come way down in price. Right now it's at $75 in an auction. There's 5 days left in the auction. It ends on Monday. $17 shipping. I would aim for somewhere between $150 and $175. $125 and $150. I was thinking of the Mandalorian #2 in the 1 in 50 ratio. I'm trying to get that one for about $175, but it keeps going over that price. But for the Mandalorian #1, you can get this one for $125 to $150. That's my bet on that one. So it's a great cover. It's a dark cover, and obviously the print run is a lot less than the standard cover A. So I love that cover, though. Look how awesome that cover looks. So I would look at that one, and it's in an auction, and again, there's 5 days left on it. This is an uncirculated 9.25 grade Mandalorian, the original issue vintage collection. And this seller had 7 available. 2 of them have sold. There's 5 still available. It's $129.99 plus $10.45 shipping. So to me, I'd watch that one, and maybe he makes you an offer if they sit for a while. There's 20 watchers on it, so I would imagine that they're all going to sell eventually. But for me, that's a 90-plus grade, uncirculated, AFA graded. To me, that's not a bad buy at $130 as it is, but just keep an eye on that one. Next up is a very, very difficult to find orange head Bosk, and it's graded Collector Archive Services 80. It's $150 free shipping. To me, that's a pretty good buy. I only have this one in the baggie. I don't have it, just loose graded yet. And it's just one of those figures that typically degrades for whatever reason. Those orange head Bosks, the limbs, they discolor over time, and you can kind of see it already happening with this one, and that's why it got the 80 grade. It also has a paint splash on his leg there, kind of near the crotch area, but you can very clearly see that the limbs have discolored versus the torso a little bit. But still, it's $150 for a CAS 80 grade, and again, it's a tougher to find orange head Hong Kong. To me, that's a good buy. $150 free shipping. Next up, I've got a die-cast 12-back TIE Fighter. It's got a crystal clear blister, and it looks to be unpunched. It does have some creasing towards the top of the card, but overall, pretty clean example. Again, I've never bought from this seller before, but probably like a 75 plus or an 80 grade, probably 75 plus grade, mint on card die-cast TIE Fighter. That's listed for $480. There's 21 watchers on it, free shipping. That's a pretty good buy. I've seen them sell for about that price pretty regularly. Next up, I'm starting to get into some expensive items now, and I wanted to at least show them. I'm not saying buy them, but this is a loose graded UKG tri-logo Boba Fett, the light blue color, and it's graded loose graded 85%, unpainted knee, unpainted dart, and it's displayed with the very tough to find tri-logo card back. So we all know that mint on card, this can set you back 4 figures pretty easily, $10,000, $15,000, I would say pretty easily in a high grade. So this is kind of the poor man's version where you get a loose graded tri-logo Boba Fett displayed with the card back. Now it's listed for 1,200 pounds, so it's not cheap, but that's a lot cheaper. That's about a 10% of the price of a mint on card version for this card. So again, it's a lot of money, but I at least wanted to show it. There's 6 watchers on it. I did receive an offer for 960 pounds. So that's a pretty big discount versus the list price. If you can live with kind of the wonky display, it's not the greatest display. I think CAS does a much better job with the loose graded figures in front of a card back. They just have it down, okay? But this is kind of your second best option, this UKG display. But that's a very, very tough to find card back, and you know that just the card back by itself can set you back $200 or $300, I would think. So $960 is the offer I received. So if you're into that kind of thing, there it is for you. Next up, I've got a Palatoy Death Star droid 20 back, mint on card, graded UKG 80%. I would love to have this in my collection. I really would. And it's listed for 2,250 pounds, which equates to $2,700 US. No way I'm paying that. But you can make an offer on it. There's 17 watchers on it. It's salivating. Look at the back of that. It's got the Palatoy Death Star play set. I mean, what an awesome example of the Palatoy card back. And wow, the subgrades on it are 75, 85, 85. So you got two 85 subscores. There's a little bit of wave to the card, and that's why it got the 75 grade. But wow, what an awesome, awesome mint on card Palatoy Death Star 20 back. I just would love to have that in my collection for my Death Star run. But as Belosh once said in the Raiders of the Lost Ark, it was not meant to be, Shelly. So I hope somebody else picks it up so I can buy it from you later. Again, $22.50, but I did, it is make an offer, and there's 17 watchers. But what an awesome Grail item! And then finally, speaking of Grails, here's an AFA 80 Plus proof card. Empire Strikes Back 41 back. No, I'm sorry, this is a 21 back. 21 back proof card for the Jawa, graded 80 plus archival case. So this is the transition card for the Jawa, the Empire Strikes Back transition card. Wow, what an incredible pre-production item. Now, it's listed for $6,500. I don't know what it's worth. I really don't. I think it's probably, if I had to guess what it's really worth, it's probably worth somewhere between $4,500 and $5,500. That's my estimate based on a very cursory search on Deal or No Deal for similar card backs. But I think it's got to be north of $4,500, probably north of that as well. It's probably more like $5,500. But there's 17 watchers on it. It's make an offer. If you got big bucks and you're impatient and you don't want to wait for the big Hakes auction to end at the end of this month, there you go. There's a beautiful 21 back prototype proof card for the Jawa, graded AFA 80. Anyway, that's all I really had for this video. I hope you enjoyed this look at some of these awesome items that are for sale on eBay. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll be back soon.